We've lost Brendan for the next two. Black Majesty, Children of the Abyss. He'll be back for the end of the episode. 10 tracks, 47 minutes. 7th studio album from Melbourne power metal band, released September 2018 by Pride and Joy Music. Produced by Roland Grapov at Grapov Studio in Slovakia. One promo track has been released so far, if I'm correct. Something's going on.
Yep.
Nick brought this one to us nice and early, so over to you.
Okay, so the reason I brought this to us is power metal. It's a bit of an overlooked genre, I think, around here. It's one of those genres either you love or you hate. It takes an acquired taste to get used to it, but I love it, and I've been a big fan and follower of Black Majesty for close to 15 years now. So I thought I'd bring something different to the table for this episode. So, okay, so what I like about this, what I like about this, it's a throwback to the early era of Black Majesty. So it's a very, very high energy album. It's power metal done well.
I did like this more than the previous album.
Yeah, so. And also I was about to say that is that their last album, Cross of Thorns, which was 2015, that was very well received, I guess, by the critics and everything like that. But for me, being a fan and friend of the band, I should say, because I've known these guys for many, many years, it lacked something for me, and I couldn't put my finger on quite what it was. You know, it had everything that I should have liked about Black Majesty, everything that I liked about their prior stuff, but something was missing for me. You know, it's an album that I really didn't go back to very much at all. But listening to this new one, I think I've nailed it. Is the energy? Just the energy wasn't there. This is very high energy. This is going back to the Black Majesty that I loved, the early Black Majesty era. This album, this is as good as a power metal album as you're going to hear in 2018. Like I say, it's an acquired taste. But if you know that kind of genre and you dig that kind of stuff, this is as good as you're going to hear. I'm not going to say it's the best, but it's by far from the worst. It's really, really great.
I agree with that.
No, we should be very proud to have these guys as a Melbourne band.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Make no mistake, if this band lived in Munich instead of Melbourne, they would be very high on many rosters on the metal festival circuit in Europe. It's just a shame that geographically they're located here. But this band's doing massive business overseas, Andrew. They are.
They don't play much here at all.
They don't, but that's by design as well.
Yeah.
So they're the kind of band that we'll release an album, we'll focus on overseas, do a couple of gigs here, repeat the cycle. So they're the kind of band that don't do too many gigs because they don't want to, I guess, oversaturate the market, get people sick of them.
Yep.
Leave people wanting a bit more, I think is what their kind of thing is.
They can work with these guys too.
So the professionalism of this band, from songwriting to performance to production, that should be a level to which most local bands should aspire to be honest. For example, this album here is obviously it's coming out, I think, in September. Yeah. I've got the promo which I passed on for
September
review purposes.
Is due. Yep. I think it's mid-September.
But as an example, they had 10 songs written for this album. They got together, listened to them, and they go, no, this is not up to scratch for us. So instead of doing what most bands will do, which will just take them back, rework them, polish the edges, and present it again, they scrapped all 10. Regardless who wrote it, they scrapped all 10 songs and they went back to the writing process from day dot.
Wow.
So basically, this is a whole new set of songs that's been written since the last album. So they've written 2 albums.
Wow.
Scrapped the first album, come back, and written 10 brand new tracks. That's the professionalism that we're talking about here.
It's a lot of work.
So, yeah, this album was not going to be released until every single detail and every single song they were happy with. So that's what we're talking about in terms of professionalism here, and this is what, in my mind, sets them apart from a lot of bands. As much as I like a lot of Aussie-based metal bands, every time I see a new Black Majesty record get released, it kind of fires a shot across the bow saying, hey, what you're doing is good and stuff, but hey, this is how the big boys do it. This is how we do it. They're just on another level. And don't forget, they've been around for 15, 16 years sort of thing. They're veterans of the scene. They know what they're doing, and they do it really well.
Consummate musicians too. Like, they all have other projects, so...
They are. And they're just top of their class. There's a lot going on here. There's riffs and solos coming at you from left, right, and centre. Massive choruses, big production. It's epic. It's what power metal should be. But everything sounds perfectly in place on this album. And that really comes down to Roland Grappow. He produced this, and he was in a little band called Halloween. So he's
little band that no one's heard of.
He's produced quite a few of the Black Majesty albums, and he's a very in-demand producer for this style of music. And they tap into him, and like I say, I think he brings the best out of the band. And for them to actually have access to someone like that, it speaks volumes of the band. This guy just doesn't work with everyone. You know, he's pretty picky with who he works with. He's in very high demand, but every time Black Majesty puts out the call, he produces it. And he does, and I think he's a perfect producer for it, to be honest. In terms of the album and the band itself, make no mistake, I want to mention a couple of people here. Hani Muhammad and Steve Janevsky. To me, they're Australia's answer to Maidens, Smith and Murray, Priest, Tipton and Downing. The way these two play off each other is just ridiculous.
No, they do play well with each other.
To the point where these guys have been playing together for so long over the 15-year journey is that they're almost starting to morph into each other. And what I mean by that is that Hani has always been more the middle-minded, crazy shredder guitar guy. No,
Janevsky's not a slouch at all.
Janevsky is by no means a slouch.
Yeah.
But Hani's always been the Randy Rhoads, Richie Blackmore kind of style guitarist, especially on the earlier albums. But what we're hearing on this album and the albums leading up to it, we're seeing Hani play a lot more melodic. Stevie, he's Mr. Melodic. He's Mr. George Lynch.
Yeah.
You know, Phil Collin. He's always been the melodic. He's no slouch. For me, he's probably the best guitarist in Australia. Hani will say it as well. Yeah. But what we're seeing is Stevie is becoming a lot more metal as well. I've got this funny thing. Every time a Black Majesty album comes out, I play a game and know who played that solo. So I've got access to these guys, right?
Try and play that game.
And the thing is, I'll ring up Hani. I'll go, hey, so who played this? And he'll go, who do you reckon? I'll go, it was you. No, it was Stevie. I used to have a good strike rate. Now I've just given up.
Wow.
That's okay. These guys just morph together and it's just excellent. Cool. I love it. John Cavalieri, Gio, I just call him Gio. Yep. Hands down, one of the best metal vocalists in Australia.
He's good.
He's got an amazing set of pipes, just a unique voice. With so much intensity and energy on these tracks, and like I say, so much happening, you really need a voice pushing that. And it takes a special kind of voice to do it, and he does it. If anything, he gets man of the match for me on this as well. He's got the man of the match for me on a couple of the last Black Majesty albums. As hard as it is to believe, I actually think he's holding back.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I'm convinced some of the notes he's hitting on this album, studio trickery, has to be, okay? But it's not, because I've seen this guy doing it for 15 years.
I didn't get that impression.
Listen to there's a song there called Always Running. Just the way he holds some of these notes, just pitch perfect, and just how long he holds them for. Like I said, I thought for sure studio trickery. It's not. It's just him. He's just that good.
I didn't think studio. I thought it was the real deal.
Yeah. Evan Harris, bass. He's a beast. He's been on everything. He goes back to THRS days. So he plays on everything. This guy plays bass like he's playing guitar solos. You got to go see this guy live, man. As much as I love guitars, I'm watching him for most of the gig. This guy's just ridiculously good. And then the newest addition, Ben Bignell, he's coming to his own on this. He really stands out. The drummer.
Normally, they did a good job on this one.
Yeah, normally I don't listen to drummers very much, but in this one there's just fills happening all over the place, and he's just really stepped up his game. Standout tracks for me are the ones where they really mix it up a bit. You know, like I say, it's power metal, so you kind of know what you're going to get. Black Majesty will be the first to tell you that, hey, this is our box, this is what we do, this is what we do, this is what we stick to.
Yep.
But the ones where they mix it up a bit, they're the ones that really stand out to me on here. Tracks like War's Greed, that starts off slow, it's almost ballad territory, then it becomes a ball-tearing track. Cool. Something's Going On, which is the single that was released, very theatrical, very big in scope, and a great bit of social commentary as well. If you've seen the lyric video. Sanctified, and what a way to finish off the album, but this track called Reach Into the Darkness, holy shit, what a killer chorus and solo section. Look, I'm giving this album 9 out of 10, but as close to 10 as I could possibly give an album nowadays. Do yourselves a solid and definitely check this one out if you like it. If you like power metal, if you like the most recent albums, definitely check it out. But like I say, if you're going to check out this album and the more recent ones, also check out the 2010 masterpiece In Your Honor, which is it's a classic record, belongs in many collections. So thumbs up to the Black Majesty boys. They'd knock this one out of the park.
Hey,
see, Caesar approves.
Well, I do agree with you for the most part, but I do have some differences of opinion.
Sure.
It's big riff-driven melodic. There are solos for days on this. If you like power metal or melodic metal at all, then this is certainly one to check out for sure. Where I disagree with you was on the mix. For me, it was interesting. There's a big sound wall on this with the drums and guitar right out the front, and as such, that pushes the vocals from John Cavalier back a bit. He wails well. He's a great vocalist. He cuts through over the top. But for me, because the way it was mixed and the sound being so pushed, The lyrics were hard to make out.
Okay.
And if I don't have a lyric sheet, it's hard to make out what's going on. With this sort of music, I want to hear the story that goes with it. And so for me, it was weird because it made the vocalist a musical instrument, which is fine. It actually sounds really good, but you couldn't get the complete story out of it. And that aspect of things fluctuated through the album. It wasn't so much the production value that changed, but it was more to do with what the music was doing and how that impacted on the production of things. So the busier the music got, the less the lyrics would cut through in the mix. And when it was dialed back a touch, there was a little more room. You could hear the vocals and the lyrics really clearly. It was just when it was fucking going, which is great. Like, it sounds a harsher criticism than it's meant to, because it all actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's a case of when it just starts to get big and busy and loud, the lyrics just get lost. And you hear the notes, but not the words. And that, to me, is a bit of a...
Yeah.
If you were hearing big fucking epic songs,
true.
You want the story to go along with it. I would have also liked a bit more warmth on it. I feel the bottom end has been a bit overlooked for me. Nothing bad, just observations about how I would have approached things a bit differently on this one. But there is some big epic composition on this, some big riffs and drums, as has been stated before. Some nice hooks in this too, some really cool hooks. I like the writing on it, it's very well put together. Some damn good guitar work, it's easy to see why they made the guitar and the drums stand out in the mix and the production of it all. I thought that was very clear because they're both very good aspects of this band. The track order is well thought out. Not a lot of album dynamics per se, but the tracks are all interesting enough to keep you individually interested. So every song is cool. The album is a good listen. There's nothing actually wrong with it. It's just that these are the perceptions that I'm taking away from listening to it. I'm not sure if this is the sort of work that will bring people that are new to the band or the genre across into it, but it will make existing fans very, very happy, which it clearly has in this case. I know that's a mark of the style, but things also got a little bit repeated for me in some of the songs. Like they tailed out the chorus at the end a few times, just a few times too many for me. But against that, some of the guitar work is absolutely phenomenal, which you've talked about more than I need to. I want to see this live. I reckon this would be really cool in that regard. There's some great call and response moments set up in this for this. If this was a little bit less crunched overall, I would have truly loved it. If you like it melodic, riffy, and big, you are going to get a kick out of this. So I'll go an 8 out of 10. Hideaway, Children of the Abyss, Sanctified, Reach into the Darkness are my standouts. Check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think.